she found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make up, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, 'cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. Back to feeling lonely, hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you.
Walking on the moon. One moment to escape. You're walking on the moon. I've never been. All our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. All our trouble seems to fade away when we dance. Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me.
I was all alone. Then you showed up under my umbrella. Oh, shelter from the cold. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I saw you all alone. Your eyes match the weather, raining under pressure. Oh, you say you wanna go home, yeah. So let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Let's get away from here. Strangers found lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here. Strangers found lost in time with one another. The hourglass takes us further from here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the $30 3v3 tournament hosted by V6. I am one of your casters, Zektek. With me is Lightning. How you doing, Lightning?
You know, I am having a fantastic evening. I have been one to frequent these wonderful events that Brosy likes to put on, the man who runs V6 and is behind the camera tonight, so always a fun time when I get to go ahead and cast, and especially when I get to be joined by such a lovely caster like yourself, Mr. Zektek.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very excited to see these matchups. And actually, our first one for today is the winners semifinal, Hijack Esports versus Velocity Esports. I'm very excited to see how these teams plan out. Any predictions for this, Lightning?
Now, it's hard for me to really go ahead and throw a number out there, really throw favor to one team, but I think that if I had to choose right this moment, I'm more comfortable with going with Velocity Esports because I've seen them around the scene a little bit more than I've seen Hijack. I've seen the success that Velocity Esports can have in tournaments, but I think the main thing that comes to question when I think of their team is the consistency that they have. I mean, sometimes they're not exactly running through the tournament like they probably could, but right now they're doing pretty well in this one.
Well, it's lovely to hear, and I'm very excited to see what they bring to the field today. Now, not to be confused with Escape Velocity, another team that I've had the opportunity to cast. Lots of fun with that one, but I have not got the opportunity to cast Velocity Esports, so I'm super excited to see what this team brings to the field as far as mechanics, team play, and just overall creativity. So we're able to get it any second here. Looks like we have all of our players in the match, and about to ready up. Very excited to see how this goes down. Game 1 of a best of 5, I believe. And we're just about ready to hop in.
It looks like it's best of 3, actually.
Best of 3.
You know what? It happens to the best of us. Already a good start for the boys in blue as Hijack looking to get things started. Got a little bit of offensive pressure there early, but cave in on defense as Velocity will go ahead and be the one to score first as Psycho, who seems to be very proud of Velocity Esports, scores that first goal.
Yeah, and it was an excellent pass, a little chip down the field to get it to him. Finding him in that spot behind the defender in the corner there, and then just an excellent job weaving it into the midfield and then getting that 50, that challenge, smashing it past him, and not letting him clear that ball out. Now a little of a breakaway play here. Gets put into the corner and exiled. Gonna try to stop them from getting another shot.
And one of the things that they're going to want to do here is try to minimize the opportunities that Velocity Esports can have, because you already seen from the start there is that if they're given too much space, they're going to have an easy time of going ahead and slamming one home, as Exile doing a great job of clearing this one down the field. Good read by Psycho, but unfortunately it will not clear out to the wall. This one will go 0-2, and Volkenzi will be in the corner. No clear out obtained as Exile sends it right back.
Psycho now looking out of his own half. It's going to go center for Volkenzi. He's going to find a way past these two defenders now. Velop's going to receive it and take it to the corner. 0-2. Going to put that pressure on, but now it's down to Psycho to take this 1v2. They go for the bump, but no one's there to follow up the shot. And it's going to be Exiled now, taking out of his own backfield again. A good little attempt there from Hijack Esports, but now going to try to bait, and Velocity going to challenge him early in that corner.
Yeah, and that was a good challenge. I mean, you want to go ahead and keep that pressure on heavy in the corner, because if you get the hit just right, you clear it out to the corner. Sometimes that's all it takes to go ahead and set up a nice shot attempt, and what could possibly lead to a goal. So hopefully we see a little bit more out of Velocity Esports here, as this one fought into the corner. Volkenzi unfortunately not able to get anything done, as this one clears out to the midfield. Shot on, and this one will be saved away. Volkenzi the one diving in front of the net, but another attempt coming quickly, but unfortunately Hijack Esports unable to convert, as this one will fall to Volkenzi for Velocity. And we now have a 2-goal lead going into about halfway.
And 0-2, an excellent job there, being the man to the ball in the air, putting it downfield near the net, and then just that excellent read off the back wall. Volkenzi going to put them up 2. Now with only 2:45 left in the game, almost half this game get done with, and a strong lead from Velocity Esports. But this is going to coast towards the net. It's a shot, but it's off the post. And that's got to feel bad for Exile now. Second attempt, but cleared up by 0-2. Velops now going to leave it for Cuke. Psycho taking it to this, dropping it down for Volkenzi. Big clear. Now it's Velops gonna have to try to take it on. 0-2 gonna tail this one as Velops. Gonna leave that. Cuke to center. Exile taking the big chip. Hits off crossbar the follow-up, but it's not there for the shot. Psycho off to the corner. And, oh, I think we have a Rule 1 going on, so now it's a 2v2.
And, yeah, you gotta love the Rule 1s. You gotta love the sportsmanship that comes with that. As that one's a bump, and that one will break up the Rule 1, so now these players are free. And I know there's a little bit of debate of your teammates aren't allowed to break it up, but I think that is an okay way to break out as long as you don't break it yourself. This one goes down the field and will be cleared away. 0-2 chasing, exiled on the attack with Velops, but no dice on that one. Exiled, unfortunately, unable to go ahead and get anything done with Velops on that attack. We'll go ahead and be on defense here, trying to get this one cleared. Minute and 22 seconds remain on the clock for this team. And Hijack Esports unable to find a lot of offense in the times that they have. They just haven't been able to convert. And there's an attempt, and Velops will ping that one high.
I'm loving the passing attempts here from Velocity. I think really whoever claims midfield control is going to take this series. And right now, Velocity are the ones doing it. They're putting these connections up. They're beating players to the ball in the air, and they're making these connections. They give them these opportunities on net, which are now converted into 2 goals versus 0 for Hijack. Now Volkenzi taking it down the side. Exile going to stop him there. And again, this defense for Velocity, an excellent job on the rotations, making sure it's clean. Exile almost gets that shot for 0-2, an excellent clear. And there's a follow-up. There's that midfield control and presence from Psycho.
A good clear by Hijack Esports. Unfortunately, again, unable to convert. This ball will be cleared down. Volkenzi on the read, taps it towards the net. But Velops will be there to go ahead and close down for the save. Exile, good touch out to the midfield. 0-2 getting in the way, slowing it down. Now, 10 seconds remain on the clock, so all Velocity has to do is really slow down play here, just control the ball and kill time. I mean, they're not really threatened right now by Hijack Esports in any way, as now the clock hit 0, so now it's time for Hijack to go ahead and focus on the next game.
Yeah, Hijack now. Gonna try to figure out how to take down this Velocity Sports. Not about only 4 shots come out for Velocity, and it looks like 9 for Hijack. Hijack gonna have to figure out how to put these shots on net. We saw a lot here on the far post, on the crossbar, just off, and so that actually is what's really, I think, gonna bring Game 2, that challenge up against Velocity. Velocity, though, still maintaining that midfield presence and that pressure. Their defense, excellent rotations, keep making sure there's no gaps in it. I think really the physical play from Hijack is what's going to break it apart. We saw 1 or 2 demos in this game, but if they can bring some more this next game, I think it's really going to break apart Velocity and give them that opportunity they need to take the lead.
Yeah, and that disruption can be very helpful on plays, and you see it a lot in that high level Rocket League play. It becomes such a dynamic aspect of the game that can change the dynamic in a moment. And like you said, if Hijack's able to go ahead and crack down on that accuracy and get that disruption, there's no reason that they're going to lose the Velocity here. I mean, of course, now they have their backs against the wall as they are on game point, but sometimes that brings out the best in teams. Hopefully we see that they'll bring the best out in them as Velops starting off the game with a good save.
Yeah, Exile now gonna go midfield, gonna try to find Cuke. It's a fake out, and that bump's gonna give Exile the space he needs, and there's that physical play. You'll love to see it, and I'm super excited. Cuke found Volkenzi, made sure he couldn't make that save, and Exile the free open net. They're gonna take the first lead of this series for Hijack Esports.
Yeah, and that's really good momentum going into the remainder of the series if they're able to go ahead and win this one. They can use all the momentum they're going to be able to get, as that's a good touch by 0-2, pushing this one down into a more favorable position for Velocity Esports. Psycho going ahead and getting the 50, pulling some offense pressure away from Hijack Esports, as now Velocity attempting to keep this one on Hijack's side, as Psycho doing a good job of reading that one all the way there, and almost made it in, but the 50 was just too strong and pushed it a little bit too high to the crossbar. But the follow-up will find the net as Psycho. Not able to get a flashy show-off goal, but ends up going ahead and getting it regardless.
And here we see that unfortunate double commit by Hijack Esports, leaving that net wide open and an easy tying goal for Velocity Esports now. Hijack gonna have to find a way to keep those communications going, keep that spirit up, and try to regain momentum here.
I mean, momentum is important. You don't want to lose that momentum, especially early on. You've done a good job so far in getting some offensive looks and putting on pressure. You don't want to let up yet, as Hijack looking to put on some pressure of their own. A shot towards net, not exactly a hard shot. The field as 0-2 pushes that one to the corner. Will be fielded by Flops in the midfield. Now Hijack looking to get something done as QC will go ahead and put this one off of the back wall before it gets cleared away. And a shot attempt goes just wide, and there's more of that accuracy issue we were seeing early on and through the duration of the last game.
Hijack now making some good challenges in the midfield, trying to regain ground, and they were on the offensive for quite a while, about half of that minute, but 0-2 gonna chip it past the defender and take the lead for Velocity Esports. He says I could put it off the backboard. QC gets faked up by Volkenzi, and 0-2 just chips it over him. He wasn't expecting it. That's going to go in.
I think that one can really be chalked up to just the rotations kind of breaking down for Hijack Esports. I mean, you saw they both kind of got bunched up in the corner there. The third man that was rotating in and back got bumped, so more of that disruption play that we've been talking about coming out here, and that's a good play as Exiled and QC going to be chasing this one down, but unable to get it past Psycho, who furthest this one down the field with a good pinch here.
Flops now challenging that ball in the air. It's going to go down. Flops now 1v1 in the corner. Psycho's going to try to shadow him. It goes out from Psycho off the backboard. QC doesn't quite get it. And now Psycho losing a little bit of control, but regains it. Exile going to challenge him there. It goes over. Volkenzi's going to try to receive this, but it goes center. A little loss of control, but 0-2 able to follow that up. Take it past one. Exile, though, not going to let that drive go much longer. Going to take it down to the sidewall. Volkenzi reclaiming that midfield control, but it's a big chip over the back to the back wall. 0-2 off to the side. And now, Hijack on the offense.
We're going to have to wait and see if they're able to stay there as Velocity Esports threatening to clear. Psycho, good save on the goal line. Jumps in front of the ball early. Gets a good touch here as well to break up some more play time as Exile putting this one off the corner. Finds 0-2 there and waiting in the net. So offensive pressure now reset momentarily for Hijack as now Exile looking to go ahead and get back into the play, but unable to read that ball off the wall. 0-2 with the shot. And now with 1 minute and 33 seconds remaining in the game, Hijack Esports find themselves down by 2.
Now we see QC here. Not really faking the challenge, but going over for the boost, making that gap a little too wide between him and the next defender. And then the offense able to slot it in between him and the other one to that top. And that's another 2-goal lead for Velocity Esports. Got the ceiling is Psycho. He's going to try to take it past QC, who's going to chip it out. 0-2 up to the ceiling. Both players are up. That's a demo, and QC's going to make sure that doesn't go in.
Running this one down the field, only had 0-2 to beat at the moment. Volkenzi gonna go ahead and read this one off the wall. Read here by Hijack Esports. Shot on, Flops with the shot, but Psycho too fast to get back. We'll go ahead and get the save and the clear as this one ricochets around the field. And Psycho gets a wonderful read. What a pass. And honestly, what a shot. 0-2 really only doing cleanup crew there, as you couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
Yeah, Flops committed on that ball, and Exile followed up with him, didn't stick to that third man position, didn't see that there was no one behind him, pulled up too far, and that ball went right past him into his net. And now, with a 3-goal deficit, Hijack are going to have to really struggle here in these last 45 seconds to get something going. It's do or die time now.
do or die time indeed. 37 seconds is a hefty time frame to go ahead and score 3 goals in, but it can be done. We've seen it before as Exiled has the opportunity here, gets it over. Now that lead is down to 2 in 26 seconds, so hopefully we're gonna wait and see if they're able to score 2 more goals. That would be 10 seconds per goal at the very least.
That was a beautiful play to catch by Blops, tossing it over Exile, who just picks it up, air dribbles it up over both defenders, and just slots it under the crossbar. An excellent shot. But now only 22 seconds left. Hijack gonna have to keep it going. But with that midfield presence again coming out from Velocity Esports, it's going to be an uphill battle.
That uphill battle going to be very much assisted by that pinch out into the midfield. Psycho trying to get this one done. Drops down, 3 seconds remain on the clock, and the shot attempt will be denied, and this one will drop down. And Velocity Esports will be a semi-final winners, and they will be moving on with Hijack Esports dropping down into the losers bracket.
That's an excellent job by Velocity again, locking down that midfield, making sure that those attempts really, any good shots and goals from Hijack had to come with demos or bump plays or very good little connections and passing plays, which they were able to pull off a couple times, but not enough to take on the amount of pressure that Velocity had on Hijack Esports on their half of the field. And Hijack, leaving their backline open a little too much, those rotations a little too loose, a little too wide, and Velocity were able to punish them for it and take this series.
Yeah, and one of the things that Velocity really did well, I feel, is that their team play was fantastic. I mean, rotations were on point. They were coming up, assisting each other. They were getting the reads very quickly. They were finding themselves in open areas of the field for passing, and you didn't like you said, the loose rotations of Hijack just you didn't see that as often. And when they did find success, but you can't really bank on that to be such a kind of fair weather thing. Now, do they have the opportunity to go further in this tournament? I think so. But they have to make a lot of improvement in a short time frame if they want to go ahead and run that losers bracket all the way up to the grand finals.
Absolutely. In this next series, the winners final, Velocity Esports will go up against the Swim team, a team who, through the winners bracket, has gone 2-0 against every team except for Super Saiyan, who took 1 game off of them. So it looks like there's going to be some tough opponents coming up against Velocity Esports. I'm very excited to see how this next series goes down between Velocity Esports and the Swim team. What are your expectations for this, Lightning?
Man, when you got teams like this coming out, it's so hard to really predict because looking at the players that are on Swim team, I mean these are guys that I've seen around a little bit, and they're solid players. But if I'm gonna stick to my guns, and I'm gonna have to go with Velocity because I mean they're a good team. They play together well. They're very much synergized, and they do everything very purposely, every touch, every 50, and they don't give a lot of opportunities on that defensive side of things. So I really suspect that Velocity will beat the Swim team, but I'm not going to be surprised if it goes the other way around either.
Absolutely. Now, I have not seen the Swim team before, but from what you say, it does seem like Velocity will have a tough task ahead of them to take them down. But again, Velocity showing some excellent team play in that last series, like you said. That midfield presence, beating teams, the other team in the air, getting to that ball first, making sure it was on the other team's half most of the game, and then winning those challenges, winning those 50s. An excellent job from Velocity, and something we want to see them carry into this next series against the Swim team.
And I think it's just more of doing the same thing that they did against Hijack. Getting up the midfield quickly, establishing very early midfield pressure and presence, and making sure that they keep them on that back half as long as possible, because that's just going to maximize the amount of opportunities that Velocity gets in this series. And like I said, it's not going to be an easy matchup. against swim teams. So they also don't want to come into this too cocky off of that win. And you know, seeing how they played, I definitely have high hopes. And you know, it's just a matter of time before these guys get their shot at the grand finals.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am very much in favor of Velocity. You've really talked me into it. Such high praises and really something you don't see. Often on these tournaments, you do have a lot of very good contenders, but Velocity definitely a strong contender here, ahead of many teams for the grand finals and for this win. However, Swim Team are going to bring this challenge. They have had an excellent run here in the winners bracket. So very excited to see what they bring to this field against Velocity Esports. And very excited to see what these players bring together. Now, we saw a lot of shooting from Psycho. He was one of the main attackers for Velocity Esports. Now, I'd love to see some more out of the rest of the team, see what they can put together. Excellent passing plays out of both 0-2 and Volkenzi. But I'd like to see what they can put together as far as maybe passing off Psycho, maybe being more of a third man, maybe see how that would roll, or what they can put together. But Psycho, again, a very strong attacker, and if it really comes down to it, someone they can lean into to put those balls on net and score some shots for him.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, I also gotta add, like, if it's working and you see that it's working, there's no reason to change it as well. But like you said, it is also good to go ahead and see how the players can go ahead and fit in different kind of aspects of play. And you gotta go ahead and be versatile and be good on all aspects. Um, and a lot of those high ranking players, that's what they excel at. I mean, you take players like Justin and Squishy and Aqua, they're all very good players on almost every aspect of the field. Um, Good on defense, good on offense, good at passing, um, mechanical, basics. I mean, they got it all down pat. Now, obviously, I'm talking about RLCS players, but a lot of these SSL guys all have the same skill sets, just not to like the tiniest percent margin of error degree that the guys in RLCS do. But you know, Velocity Esports, a big bubble scene team. They get around a lot, lots of different tournaments, busy schedules. So it makes sense that they're going to go ahead and have that kind of flowing teamwork that we saw against Hijack.
Absolutely. It seems we have both teams in the lobby now. Super excited to see what they bring to this field. We do have Velocity Esports in the blue and the swim team in the orange. And we're just about to start this best of 5 series for the winners final.
And I mean, this one can really stand the test of whether or not we can get a little glimpse early on of whether or not Velocity can achieve greatness here tonight, as this one off the rip being shot, but Psycho there to go ahead and close down the defense. 0-2 on the read to Psycho on the field, off the ceiling. This one drops down, being followed by Kenzie, but just not quite fast enough as the defense goes ahead and gets this one done. Swim team now threatening on offense.
Yeah, something now, some great offensive pressure. They got some good connections on this passing play, and they have the first shot of the game, an excellent look. But Velocity Esports, their defense holding strong, but Cyber Sausage pulling out some excellent defensive stops for the swim team. So I'm very excited to see how this team pulls together, how this defense holds, and if the swim team can withstand the pounding of the offense of Velocity Esports.
So far, they've done a very fantastic job. So, I mean, credit due for them holding out for a full minute and almost setting up a goal opportunity there, but unfortunately not able to go ahead and get it done quite yet, as this one now being cleared down and away by Psycho, read by Cyber Sausage, who will look for Lumi, or doesn't look for Lumi. I'm sorry, Lumi's going to turn away. Cyber Sausage all the way down, as now Psycho reads this, takes it to the ceiling, up and drops it down, but misses the next read. So this one cleared away and controlled by the boys on the swim team.
An excellent patience there by Lumi to wait for Psycho to finish what he was doing up in the air, bring it down, wait for him to lose control of that ball, as he saw that he didn't have full control of it. Waited till the ball came to him, and now Lumi putting a shot on net is gonna take the first goal of this game.
Yeah, and that was beautiful placement. I mean, 0-2 was awkward anyways, but if you had a defender in goal that's back post, that is basically the prime spot you want to put that ball, because 9 times out of 10, that is either going to make the defender very awkward on the rebound, they're going to miss it, or they're going to go ahead and just send it right back out into the midfield for another opportunity to go ahead and make them waste resources. So a good play here by swim team, and exactly why I said that these guys are going to be a dangerous team. You got to go ahead and make sure that you're cracking down on as many opportunities as you possibly can if your velocity is. Now this one's looking like it's going to get cleared out again, as now Lumi pushes this one down the field, hunts for the demo, but won't be able to find it as it's cleared down the field.
Yeah, and the swim team doing an excellent job here, finding these passing plays, these connections. That was going to give him a shot, but 0-2 was there for it, but it goes behind Psycho. Indicator going to take a second goal for the swim team. This excellent connection to Lumi finds the net just towards 0-2, but Indicator following up, sees that block, and Psycho, just a little too much speed, isn't going to find that ball as it's placed right behind him.
And it kind of looked like he was expecting more of a close post shot rather than him going behind, but that's one of the things that makes a good player good, is being able to read the defense and place shots where they need to be, make the shots different, change where you're gonna place it, and really keep the defense on their toes. As now this one's being driven back down the field as swim team running away with game one essentially. Is now Indicator gonna put this one in over a leaping defender, and unfortunately for velocity, I think at this point you just want to go ahead and try to focus up and go ahead and regain for the next series here, or the next game in the series.
Yeah, as I praised Velocity for their ability to beat the other team in the air in that midfield, now swim team doing it to them, giving them a taste of their own medicine. And Velocity gonna have to step up some of that speed, some of that control in the midfield, figure out, okay, do we need to make ground plays instead? Or maybe just the dribble work better? But these passing plays can give them some shot opportunities, but getting shut down by that strong defense from the swim team.
And having that versatility of being able to go to the ground play or switching it up and going to the air play, as this one almost actually double tapped in by 0-2, just a little bit wide on his jump, unable to go ahead and get it done. But you want to try and keep it as versatile as possible, and if one option is being shut down every time, you really do have to go ahead and adjust so quickly in order to go ahead and make it happen, as 0-2 closes down with a fantastic save before this one gets cleared out by Valkenzi. And unfortunately, it will not stay mid for very long, as the pass is now trying to come out from Velocity, but that's an open backfield. Fortunately for them, Psycho able to get back quick enough, but not quick enough for that one, as Lumi gonna attack in another one, as swim team just being absolutely relentless.
It's an excellent trap down by Lumi. The read off the ceiling, an extremely hard read to make, but he does it beautifully, touching off his wheels, just the slightest redirect to that bottom part of the net. And Velocity caught too far forward, trying to make something happen, but now 4 goals down, 45 seconds left. The dribble, there's that ground play we're looking for, but Cyber Sausage again, an excellent defensive play, and a great part of this swim team defense, bringing out the stops. And Velocity gonna have to get past him specifically in order to make something happen.
Yeah, and you can see in the way that Velocity is playing, you can see the desperation attempts. That one sneaks under 2 defenders for Velocity. Cyber Sausage just putting a little bit too much sauce on that shot to be fully blocked by the Velocity team, just sneaking under 0-2's car there. But you know, you can see the desperation in the way that Velocity is playing, trying to find anything that works, crack the code here and now in this first game before it gets too out of hand and they find themselves down on that second game.
And now, Velocity putting some offense together, making some passing plays up in the air, but it's going to be stopped. And Cyber Sausage now just going to clear it down before I waste some time. And Volkenzi going to clear it down. And that game 1 is going to go to the swim team. Now Velocity playing from behind, something they didn't have to face last round. But they have 2 more lives left to figure it out and find the weak point of this swim team.
Yeah, and watching swim team play in this series, in the first game, they definitely seem like they got everything pretty much down pat. There was a few times here and there where they seemed like they were a little bit unsure of what they wanted to do exactly, but you're seeing a lot of patience out of their play. They're making good reads, good positioning. They're just getting to where they were feeling out Velocity for like the first few minutes of that game, and then they just turned on the burners and were scoring goals left, right, and center. And not much that Velocity really could have done. I mean, they're still getting shots on net. Don't get me wrong. They had a total of 8 shots, but they just weren't finding anything. I mean, they found themselves on defense more times than they found themselves on offense, which is a very dangerous position because, like you said, they held such a good midfield pressure in the last series, but this one, it's just completely just gone. They haven't been able to find that.
Yeah, and now going into this game 2, the swim team, lots of momentum, lots of high energy, something that's going to be tough for Velocity to overcome and build their own momentum. Velocity, though, a little time here now, that minute between games, gotta breathe, take some time, and figure out what they want to do with that shot. Seems they've got some confidence in them. And they are ready to try to bring it back against the swim team. But put it again on the defensive. Volkenzi, though, big clear out, and Cyber Sausage put on the defensive.
And another beautiful read by Cyber Sausage. I mean, he is getting in the way of a lot of plays here as Indicator is going to steal the goal from Lumi. What a cherry pick, but what a play by Lumi to go ahead and sneak this one in under the car of, I believe that was Volkenzi who was diving across the net. Now, they're finding themselves back in that familiar territory of being up by 1 fairly early. The question is Velocity going to be able to go ahead and make the necessary adjustments quick enough to lower the damage? I don't think so, because that's not a good sign.
Yeah, Psycho, not able to gain control after the kickoff. Indicator just chipping it over him and past Volkenzi, who was in the net, caught unawares, and I think Psycho just sort of threw him off. Couldn't quite figure out, is Psycho going for it? I don't need to go for it. And before he knew it, it was over his head and under the crossbar.
Yeah, a little bit too much hesitation there. And, I mean, buying time is one thing, but hesitating definitely hurts your chances, as they just need to go and make some decisive strikes here. And, I mean, I don't want to say throw all your cards against the wall at one time, but definitely maybe change some things up, get in the way, make some earlier jumps, and try to go ahead and make the offensive push as difficult as possible for a swim team. So maybe they make a mistake and enable some open field, as Indicator going to push this one across, and Lumi will go ahead and score his 3rd goal of the series.
When that double commit for Velocity, the miscommunication is going to open up that net for swim team to just slam it home. Now up 3-0, 3:44 left on the game. Velocity going to have to figure out how to disrupt this back line, or this offense, as Indicator is going to slot it in the bottom right corner off this little kickoff play.
It just seems like they're kind of in that same situation that Hijack was finding themselves in. They're outpaced, they're getting called out on rotations, they're getting touches that they're probably not expecting, maybe not communicating everything perfectly. I'm not entirely sure on that end, but definitely not making the smarter choices here in this series, as this one looks like it's going to sneak in again, as Cyber Sausage now putting one in for himself, as he was a big part of that first game against Velocity Esports, really riding high on that on the first matchup. But now it seems like Indicator's really taken over the reins, so good to see a lot of versatility out of this team.
Yeah, and Sausage, excellent masterful control of those 50s, being the first player with it. The doink past the second player, and then the challenge on the third one to just shove it into the goal. Cyber Sausage really knows what he's doing there in the midfield. And now, Escape Velocity can have a little offensive pressure, looking to find something center, but no one's there to follow that up, as it's going to go to the midfield. And Lumi winning these 50s again. Velocity's going to figure out how to take ground and take those 50s in a way that they can start winning them.
They just got to start with anything to get the ball rolling here. As they have a little bit more than half of the match to go and a 5-goal deficit, so you need to make something working fast because time is ticking. As Kenzie's gonna miss that read off the backboard, and another whiff. You can see the play of Velocity Esports definitely cracking as now exactly halfway through the match passes. Lumi looking like he's gonna pass it out to Indicator, who follows up, and that's the 6th goal against Velocity Esports.
Yeah, Volkenzi looking for that pass upfield, pushed too far with his teammate. Living on one behind, and Psycho just got beat on that ball off the backboard, and that was a wide open goal for Swim Team. It looks like 0-2 inactive, might have a disconnect here.
I don't want to say that he just stopped playing because his ping was varying a lot here and there. I mean, at the beginning of the match, I saw him at a 116 ping popping up to 200, so it's very likely that his internet possibly died, or yeah, Volkenzi confirming his internet went out. So they're going to be down a player, but play has to go on. They're probably going to go ahead and bring in their sub Greywood if 0-2 is unable to go ahead and reconnect here in the next few in this next matchup. Now, what that means for Velocity, time will tell, but normally that isn't a good sign, as you're going to be bringing in a cold substitute player, which most times hurts your play. But who knows? Sometimes you get great things out of substitute players.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you get that cold player who isn't quite prepared, isn't quite ready. You got to refigure out that team chemistry with them. But sometimes they bring that sort of new creative angle that really throws off the offense and the defense of the opponent. Not sure what they're going to come with. So really, that substitute can be a wild card, helping in either direction. Either it can be the boon of Swim Team here, going to be someone they don't know how to read, or it could be someone that just Flossie can't figure out how to make things happen, and with those cold hands, just can't quite make it come together. But now with the Brazil for Swim Team, minute 20 left, that's going to be some high pressure coming out, and Velocity just going to try to make it happen with this 2v3.
And oh man, I'm going to drop a quote. You got to stop. They're already dead. I mean, you've already beaten Velocity with time and goals. I mean, you just play for time now. Just run down the clock and let it go on to the next one. I mean, there's not much that Velocity can really do in this 2v3 situation, but you do gotta love the fact that they are playing on regardless and not just throwing it in the towel. It shows some really heart and passion for the game as Indicator bringing this one up. 50s was Psycho. This one out to the side while Volkenzi dropping it down, and we'll go ahead and bring it back instead as this one to the wall. It gets cleared away.
Ken's not going to bring it center, but Psycho biding his time, waiting for a better opportunity, so the defender was on top of that ball. But Ken's now on the defense, going to take that 50, and oh, Indicator going to win the rebound, and that slides in for another goal.
At this point, it just kind of seems like Swim Team's just going for as high of stat lines as they possibly can. I don't know if any of them have passed that 1,000-point threshold quite yet, but they're definitely aiming for it within the next 10 seconds. Here's Indicator looking to go ahead and get this one cleared down the field and gets it past one. Looking to get it past Psycho as well. The demo, and that one will sneak in with the assist. Cyber Sausage finishing that one. Indicator may have his 1,000-point game here.
It looks like he does. Now, 1 second left. They're trying to just throw this ball away. And now, Velocity gonna look to regroup, figure out a new game plan, figure out how to get past this swim team, find those gaps, create some gaps possibly, maybe get physical, try to reconnect on those passes, and I think really building up that speed, trying to beat them in the midfield, regain that midfield control is going to do huge things for Velocity Esports should they find how to do that.
And unfortunate news, it seems like Velocity is going to go ahead and FF because they can't go ahead and get 0-2 to reconnect. And that's rough because, I mean, they were such a great team and just unfortunate circumstances, lag, internet problems. I mean, they plague everybody from time to time, but you can't really control what happens in that aspect. So what that also means is that whoever they were going to face down in the losers bracket is going to go ahead and get a free buy essentially. So let me go ahead and take a quick little peek here at that bracket and see where we're at. Virtual Esports beat Hijack, so Hijack will not be coming back to the grand finals, but we are waiting on Cap and Alpha Beta in the losers quarterfinal to finish up, and then the losers semifinal will go. So I don't know if you have anything to add, Zek Tech, but I think this would be a good time for us to go ahead and get a little break in.
Absolutely. Super excited to see who goes out on top. Looks like Cap has beat Alpha Beta. They will be facing off against Virtual Esports. And the winner of that will be facing off against the swim team. So when we come back, we will be seeing the grand finals, I believe. So don't go away. We'll see you in just a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to $30 3v3 V6 tournaments. I am ZekTech, one of your casters. With me is Brozy. Brozy, how you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Oh man, I've been watching this tournament so far, and I'm not gonna lie, the first series that we had streamed definitely was a nail biter, but the second one I will have to say was a lot different than most of the tournaments we see leading up to the grand finals and even the finals.
Absolutely. And now we have in the losers finals, because Velocity Esports has forfeited, we have instead Cap versus Virtual Esports. Both teams have done very well. Cap did lose to Swim Team in the winners bracket, but has fought their way through the lower bracket and going up against Virtual Esports to see who goes into the grand finals against the Swim Team. Can Cap come back and find some revenge against Swim Team, or are Virtual Esports going to get their shot at the grand finals? What do you think, Brozy?
That's a great question. I personally think, just from my experience, even sometimes playing with Cap, I feel like Cap is definitely one of those teams that are very just kind of out of the gate. What's the word? Powerful. Out of the gate, they come out swinging and just relentlessly. Like you can't tell them right from wrong. It's insane.
It was very exciting to hear, and I'm very excited to see how they bring that energy to this game against Virtual Esports. Now, both of these teams have done an amazing job. They've had to fight through a best of one through the lower bracket, and both teams coming a good long way. Virtual was knocked down in round one, but has fought their way all the way back through, and Cap was knocked down in round, looks like, 3 in the quarterfinal. No, sorry, one of the winners' semifinals. But we are just about to hop in now to the losers' final: Cap versus Virtual Esports.
Alrighty, so kickoff happens. Looks like we've got, I believe this is Cap, right? That blue team.
We have Cap in the blue and Virtual in the orange.
Oh, okay, all right, awesome. So we got Cap, looking to go on the offense, but swiftly switching back to the defensive line, and a shot coming from Raymond, coming in at 115 kilometers per hour. That was a clanger, top right corner.
Yeah, Light just not able to get up to it in time, and that little bit of a loose rotation there out of Cap will mean that Virtual Esports take the first goal of the game. However, Light's now an excellent kickoff, gonna gain control in the Virtual Esports half of the field. Passes it down to Clover, but Clover not able to get that shot through as an excellent block comes out from Virtual Esports. Alpha now sending it center. Clover gonna try to get control, but Raymond gonna take it all the way downfield. Stopped at the midfield. Clover down to the corner. He's gonna bounce back out. Alpha looking for center. That's a shot, and it's going past the defense as Alpha evens the scoreline.
I mean, just a really good touch from Cap right there, kind of putting them in an awkward scenario there, and not having someone kind of follow up for that third man's lack of a better word, just presence, not being able to get to that ball in time to make a save. But so far, I mean, 1-1. Neither team looking any more overpowering than the next, so we'll definitely have to see how this goes.
Both teams here high flying, lots of pressure, shots on net, and both teams have one goal. This might be a very high scoring game. That goal almost going far post. Alpha, though, just able to reach it and keep that scoreline even. Excellent 50, make sure it's going to go over to the side. Flossy's going to get control of it. It's Xanax. Doesn't quite get it past Clover. And Raymond now looking to center for a teammate, but Light is there for it. Virtual, though, not letting up on the pressure. It's off the backboard. Double tap. No, Raymond now putting on the pressure. Off the backboard again. And Virtual are not letting up on this Cap team. They want to keep it going.
Yeah, this Virtual team right now, they're doing a phenomenal job with keeping their rotations out from offense. Very concise and very consistent to the point where they're able to keep up so much pressure and not allow for this Cap team to capitalize on any sort of breakaways that they're presumably given when that pressure is ceased to exist. But Alpha looking for a shot there, almost from top bar. That would have been insane.
Antics there, a big throw downfield, but Cap able to gain control and relieve that pressure. No breakaway play coming. Now, Weiss looking to center for a teammate. No, trying to keep control as Raymond. Gonna pass it back to him. A good 50. He goes up the wall. Clover's gonna look to challenge Yamura. Yamura gonna beat him to that ball as Alpha has to clear it away from the net. He's gonna bounce off the wall center. Raymond's up for it already. That pre-jump isn't gonna find him anything. As Clover now looking to receive this pass, and it just goes wide. Alpha, the backup, taking his time. It's Anix though, not gonna let him have that air dribble. And Yamura now gonna have to clear it out of his own corner. Zigzanix gonna keep that pressure up. Trying to back pass to Raymond as Raymond's gonna get past one. Alpha though, Cap just keeping up this offensive pressure and sort of a flip-flop now of what we've seen from Virtual.
I see you in the chat, Jay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And for those that are joining in, we are currently in the losers finals for the Triple Threat Weekly number 23, Cap versus Virtual. I do remember last week actually, just for a recap, Virtual was, I believe, our tournament winners. And if not tournament winners, they did make it all the way up to the grand finals and made a really good run. They definitely looked like a completely different team to today. You know, for good or for bad, who knows, right? Who knows? We're still in this game 1 of the series.
Yeah, and no shots scored since the first minute of this game. Now only a minute left, as that's a shot on net by Amura. Gonna put it past one, and it bounced off. I think looks like an own goal. Amura, that pressure, gonna make sure that they take the lead with only a minute left in the game. Xanax, excellent pass down to Amura, reading it. Slides it in behind the defender as Lights couldn't quite stop it.
What the heck? That's what we call. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but you remember on the old Windows, I think 98 computers, they had like that one pinball machine game.
Oh yes, I do. I had an old laptop with that on it.
That reminded me of just an instance where that ball just does not want to, for whatever reason, come back down to the little flippers on the pinball, and it just keeps kind of rocking back and forth.
And there we go, a big clear coming out from Metanix, and just not able to find that defensive play. Alpha couldn't quite read it. And now up 3-1, 50 seconds left. Cap gonna have to find some quick shots on net in order to try to keep this match in their hands. But currently, Velocity are the ones with their hands on the steering wheel. So they're gonna clear this out. No boost for Lights. Clover gonna miss. Now only 30 seconds left, and it looks like it might be Lights out on this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's funny because there's a team called Lights Out. That aren't they? I believe they're RLCS, right?
I have not seen Lights Out in RLCS, but I could be wrong.
Lights Out. Actually, no. Yeah, they're not in RLCS, but I think they're a really solid team.
Here we go. Air dribble coming out from Imura. Over one. And it gets put off to the side. And Virtual Esports will secure game 1.
Yeah, really good job there from them. And speaking of which, a really good job. We've got a better caster here for you guys. We're going to go ahead and let's see. We're going to go ahead and switch on over to Lightning being the caster instead of my scuffed casting Brosy.
Hey, no worries. Thank you for filling in, Brosy. I wasn't aware you guys were gonna go ahead and go into an early cast, so I assumed that there was gonna be a break for a little bit.
Well, no worries. We just had game 1 of Virtual Esports versus Cap here in the losers final. Virtual Esports securing game 1, a 3-1 lead. Seen plenty of good shots and plays. Strong start from both teams. Both got a goal in the first minute, but in the last minute of play, Virtual Esports pulling out 2 more and securing them this game 1.
Yeah, I didn't get to see a lot of that. I did just come back at the end. So it's like a whole new game for me. I get to see what these guys have to offer. But hearing that these guys were playing pretty well and seeing what they had at the end of that, I can tell why they are winning this series so far. Let's see what Virtual Esports can go ahead and bring here in this matchup, as Ram's gonna go ahead and get it past all the defenders, almost goes ahead and dinks it in off the crossbars. This one clears all the way down the field, and Mora gonna go ahead and bring this one down to the field before getting it cleared away.
It's Antics now getting the ball taken away by Clover. It's going to go up to Alpha. It's going to air dribble it down. Looking to try to center it. The pinch isn't going to go in, as that's a good stop by Raymond. Fault from Velocity Esports now. Looking to put it something center, but Alpha again. Going to get off his own back, looking for the air dribble, and Mura going to challenge him in the midfield. It's Antics now with a shot opportunity, but Light's able to stop him there. It's Antics going to center it again, but no teammates there to follow it up. And another minute almost gone from this game. And the scoreline is 0-0.
Well, good touches coming out from both sides here. Is now Clover gonna go ahead and chase this one down around the wall, and a misplay by Amora will go ahead and enable Lights to punch that one in through the hole. As now Cap going ahead and holding the lead here. As Virtual looking to go ahead and possibly tie this one back up soon, as from what I hear, the last matchup was fairly close going into the final few minutes. So read before it gets cleared off.
Well, it's an excellent little touch. Raymond now with some space out of the backfield. Gonna look for Amura. Amura off the side. Gonna put it center, and that's just over the defender. That play, an excellent shot. See Raymond here take control, beat Lights in the midfield. Goes up to Amura. He's gonna center the shot, and getting past Alpha, Clover wasn't ready for it, and they're gonna even the scoreline.
And what a read by Amora to go ahead and put that difficult shot on net, and even further impressive to go ahead and actually score it. As now Virtual Esports running back down onto the offensive side. As you're saying, what are you going with? Are you going with Raymond or Ramen?
I was saying Raymond.
Alright, well that's what I'll go with then. Just for the sake of consistency, we'll go with Raymond. Is now Amora gonna go ahead and bring this one down off the wall towards the midfield. Raymond gonna go ahead and possibly 50 with Clover. No, Clover gets around the corner towards the midfield, but Amora there to go ahead and get it out.
They have a triple commit there out of Velocity Esports, but does still give them the possession there. So they will have to look out for it. Make sure it doesn't give away an opportunity for a shot on net. But Cap here can have to find a way to take advantage of maybe those triple commits. Because so far, they've had some good opportunities on net, some good passing plays, but nothing quite making it to the man in front of the net. As this Annex going to slot it between both players in the bottom left corner of that net.
And you were just literally saying nothing had made it quite to the net. And I mean, that's a perfect example of the powers we casters hold of cursing plays into existence. As that one pinched pretty fast, 74 miles per hour into the net. As now they're looking to go ahead and attack more on, and more diving forces Lights into an awkward position, but ball does get cleared out. Clover now following this up off the backboard, and Alpha gets the read to tie it back up at 2, as it seemed like Virtual had the opportunity to go ahead and possibly punch in more, but Cap turning the thing back around and changing fates a little bit.
Yeah, it's Annex not able to read that ball off the backboard. Just misses the read and gets slotted under that crossbar. An excellent shot, and we have an even score. And again, these teams going head-to-head, very similar skills, and just able to read each other very well. Meet each other in the midfield, not let each other keep possession for too long. And a bit of boom ball happening here, as some big passes coming out across the field.
Speaking of passes, here's one, and Antics will go ahead and get in the way. Now, Raymond going to be dragging this one downfield. Good job getting it past the defender. 50's up to the ceiling, so that will be an easy clear for Cap. As now this one's going to go down the field, and that's an open net, and that's about as free as you're ever going to get it. As Antics tacks that one in to take the lead back for Virtual Esports.
And all three Cap players are committing to that ball. One who couldn't even stop where he was going, come off that ceiling. And Antics able to capitalize on that, beat them to the ball, and just clear it down to the empty space and slot it in, taking the lead with only a minute 45 left in this game. Cap now, Alpha, down the center, looking for the air dribble, but it's going to go pop off to the side. That defensive play, an excellent job by Velocity to make sure it doesn't go down in front of the net. As Alpha now looking for the shot on net, almost gets slotted in the top right, but Amura, a beautiful stop.
Yeah, Amura doing a good job of getting in the way, and he has been rather invaluable of a player for Virtual Esports, getting in a lot of these plays, getting a lot of looks towards the net, going ahead and getting in the way on defense, securing pressure in that midfield, and he's had Antics to go ahead and follow him up time and time again as they're looking to go ahead and possibly break out here. With a minute left, I think another goal would be a very good thing for Virtual Esports to possibly secure this win, as now Amora going to attack this one down the field. Clover there, shot on, but the defenders are right there. Alpha going to have to make a difficult play as Antics just plays with his mind and absolutely and positively wins that fight.
In Virtual Esports now, 4 goals for 5 shots, almost 100% shooting percentage. They do not miss. They're taking some excellent, smart plays here, not cutting everyone to a certain position. And it's Antics now downfield, waiting for that ball. He's going to put it on net. It is now a 3-goal lead for Virtual Esports.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate because, I mean, you still have 38 seconds left, and that's more than enough time to go ahead and score 2 goals, but it just seems like maybe Cap has decided that they want to take a riskier play route, maybe just commit everything they have to make something happen, and you don't really want to see that because that is a sign that, in my mind, that the team has almost kind of given up a little bit and just thrown everything to the wolves to see what if anything can go ahead and put things back in their favor. As now 15 seconds remains on this clock, as now down the field, Cap looking for something, but I don't think they're going to be able to find it in this next 5 seconds.
And we see Alpha able to finally put a shot in. He had 6 shots on net that game, but only looks like 2 going in. And Virtual Esports are going to move on to the grand finals against the swim team.
Yeah, and after watching Virtual Esports, I think that they're going to go ahead and pack a hefty punch going up against Swim Team. Definitely surprising, to say the least, to see them down in the losers bracket. They are a very, very solid squad, and it looks like they were down in the losers bracket since the beginning, and ironically, the ones that knocked them out were Hijack Esports, and the ones that they beat in order to play Cap was Hijack Esports. So definitely a turnaround story for Virtual here.
And great job for Virtual again, coming back, like you said, making that turnaround, beating Hijack, now beating Cap. And as they progress to the grand finals against Swim Team, they have a chance to prove themselves here, as we've seen some excellent team plays, many good shots on net, and some very smart, intelligent play, not committing all their players to one play, minimizing double commits, triple commits. Something we saw coming out from Cap a little too often, they were able to capitalize on. Made some good connections, and Amura, of course, making that excellent read off from the side to make that shot. They have the mechanics and the game sense. I think they're going to bring an excellent challenge to the swim team in these grand finals.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going to go ahead and bring a hefty amount of challenge to Swim Team, like you said. One of the things that they are going to have to look out for is that offensive pressure that Swim Team brings. They get a lot of plays push down the field very efficiently. They go ahead and control that midfield pressure like we saw out of Velocity Esports against Hijack earlier. Now, the question being here is Virtual going to be able to go ahead and rally that offense like they did against Cap in the last matchup, because we saw Velocity Esports play so well, and then all of a sudden they won against Swim Team, and everything just changed. The scripts flipped, and they found themselves on the back foot. So I would hate to see Virtual Esports fall into that same rhythm. I mean, they have momentum coming into this. Swim Team has been sitting for a while, so you also have that key component going into the next match. Could definitely factor in, but well, time will have to wait and be the determining factor here, as we're gonna be going into this next matchup pretty soon.
Yeah, we have the grand finals. Virtual Esports coming off a solid win against Cap. An excellent job, great passing plays. I'm sure they are feeling amazing. Spirits are high for them. Swim team, though, are a bit cold, like you said. They haven't played recent in the last couple of minutes. And so they're going to have to bring some good fire in this game one and really put it together quickly. Otherwise, I think Virtual Esports are going to put some good momentum in, and I'm probably going to take at least game one, possibly game two, before maybe they can recover. But that's going to rely on Virtual Esports to keep it together, not get too overconfident, and make sure that they keep these team plays going, keep playing smart, and make sure they can control that ball and that midfield as much as possible.
Yeah, and you also got to make sure that you're making so that way things don't snowball out of control. Because I feel like if one of these teams goes ahead and gets too much momentum moving, it's going to be almost impossible for the other team to go ahead and swing it back in their favor. I mean, they're both such very strong teams in their own rights. As I mean, they went against very similar teams in the aspect that Cap was a lot like Virtual Esports. I mean, they had a great run through that losers bracket, went ahead and seen some good plays out of them, and then went up against a very tough opponent and then crumbled. Um, so Swim Team, Virtual, it seems like they possibly are two sides of what it would possibly be the same coin. So um, it could really be either team's game. So they're gonna have to pick and choose their fights here, really factor in on those 50s and see who can throw the first punch into the net, and that may very well be the deciding factor in these matches.
Totally have to agree. And Virtual here, actually, I believe coming off a really good run off the last V6 Triple Threat tournament. I believe they made it to the grand finals of that one as well. So they have some good experience under their belt going to these grand finals, playing against these excellent teams. And I think they have what it takes, the knowledge and the game sense to really bring it to Swim Team and take it all the way. Is it going to be a clean sweep? I don't think so. But it is going to be hard for Swim Team and quite the challenge to make sure they can keep up with them.
Yeah. Pacing is an important thing. I mean, you don't want to fall behind on pacing, because then you're just making opportunities happen left, right, and center. You're leaving yourself wide open. And I'm sorry, I keep laughing because Rosie's trying so hard to go ahead and get the lobby set up, but it keeps black screening. So I'm just waiting to go ahead and see if he can manage to get this
Hey
fixed
Zach, can you
and
leave the
start.
lobby?
Cool. But I mean, Virtual, they do a good job of pacing. That is not a matter up to question. I mean, they did a fantastic job of pacing themselves through that match. But, I mean, we got very few minutes here before this one gets underway, as we are now in the lobby this time and in black screen, finally. So that's a good sign for things to come. Hopefully, we're actually going to go ahead and be able to watch some good Rocket League here in the next few minutes.
Absolutely. Either way this series goes, we know it's going to be some excellent Rocket League, some great gameplay, and just an amazing fun time as these teams, amazing amount of skill, some fun gameplay, and some creative plays that they've put together the past couple of series. So very excited to see what they bring to this table and to this matchup, how they try to play into this play styles, how they can try to read each other, and very excited for maybe how maybe the physical play might come out, because this is something that opened up on both of these teams. They were able to apply against the teams they were up against, open up that defense, find those holes, and place those shots on net. And so we're going to see maybe who can pull it out, who might fall more into the passing, maybe the dribbling. but we're not sure, as we do see a lot of passing plays coming out from both of these teams. So they are familiar. They might also know how to shut it down. So we're going to see how that comes together as we are waiting on them to join the match here. Lightning, what is your prediction here? What's going to be the final score of this series?
Final score of this series. I truthfully think that this one is going to go to a best of 7. I think that it won't go to OT, but I think that we're going to see 4-3 in favor of Swim Team. Now, I do want to point out that Swim Team does have basically what is a 1-game cushion, because they do have a game 1 advantage for winning the winners final coming into this grand finals matchup. So they do have that 1-game advantage. So that is a nice cushion to have. It allows you to have a little bit of a error margin in that first match to figure out the other team and what exactly they have to bring to the table. But on the other side, if it makes it that all much easier for them to go ahead and win the whole thing, if Virtual isn't exactly cautious and get overconfident in this.
Well, it's a good prediction. It's a good prediction. And, I think I have to agree with you. With that game lead, I think Virtual Esports is going to bring a good challenge to Swim Team. But ultimately, with that game lead, they are, I think, going to take it game 7. I think they're going to win it. However, I think it's going to go overtime at least once in this series. Maybe not in game 7, but I think we're going to at least see one overtime this series. And I'm very excited for it. Going to see how it goes down. We're going to have everyone in the lobby here. And we are just about to start the grand finals of the $30 3v3 tournament hosted by V6. We're just about to start.
Start we shall, as they go ahead and get to it immediately, as Raymond gonna have to dip back to defense as the offense starts immediately. Indicator going ahead and poking that one towards the net. Fortunately, wasn't able to go ahead and find the empty space there as it popped off the crossbar. Already, it looks like Swim Team's not wasting any time. They are establishing a presence, and they do not want to let it up, as, man, Virtual Esports unable to get off of their own side of the field in his first 30 seconds.
Virtual Esports putting up some good defense, though. Finding some control. That looks like an open net, as... Oh, that's an excellent reader from Xanix, and they're going to take the first goal of this game.
Not entirely what I expected here. I definitely thought that Cyber Sausage was going to try to cut that off, or Lumi was going to get in the way of antics, but I'm definitely sure that Virtual's not going to complain about having a goal to pad their advance here into this grand finals matchup, as Antics going to go ahead and try to get this one over Indicator, and does succeed in doing so, but Amora will 50 it right back with Cyber. Now look at this ball goes more to the center. Antics there. Cyber Sausage with the read, but the follow-up will come through. Unfortunately, no goal coming of that.
And it's Antics pulling out what I wanted to see, that physical play, which opened up that space for that first goal. Gonna go down now off the backboard. Indicator, though, off to the side. And Ram gonna center for Antics, but Lumi following it up there. Some good rotations coming out of Swim Team. And it's going to get a little space for Indicator to throw it down to the side for Raymond now. Try to take it out of his own half, as Lumi's going to put it on net. Just off to the side, though. Indicator stopped by 2. Cybersausage is going to have to get past Amura. And now, off to the side, there's one back. Raymond all by himself. Going to have to fight off Cyber Sausage, but gets the ball out to the side. And we keep it a 1-goal lead for Virtual Esports.
As we approach this 3-minute mark, you can kind of see that Virtual is getting a little bit more comfortable with themselves as they play against the Swim Team opponents, and you really start to see them falling into this kind of rhythm. Their rotations are starting to pick back up as they read this team and kind of see what they can bring to the table. I mean, they held their own beautifully on defense for that first, 35, 40 seconds, where it was literally just Swim Team throwing shot after shot after shot on net. And They did not cave, so that's a good sign for Virtual Esports going further into this as Antics goes ahead and almost gets a good read there, but Cyber Sausage breaks it up, but doesn't break up that as I'm not sure what happened there, but Swim Team just leaving the net wide open, just basically opening the door wide open, inviting a Virtual in.
Indicator that missed off the backboard, and then Cyber Sausage was caught in the net, going backwards out of the top. Looked like almost a squishy save attempt, but landed too early in an awkward spot and couldn't get up for that read. And now Virtual Esports up 2-0 here in our first game of the Grand Finals. Now looking to even the scoreline against this game advantage that Swim Team is coming up with. Now Lumi, though, looking to slot it down, but it's just off to the side as Amura going to take it up against Indicator. Win that 50. It's NX following it up. A strong attacker. And it's going to get a third goal for Virtual Esports.
Unfortunately, he's not scoring all three of those. He did have 3 shot opportunities, but he'll take 2 gladly as a 3-goal lead. It's definitely a thing to celebrate for Virtual Esports right now, especially going up against a tough squad like Swim Team as Raymond's going to win the kickoff here. Amora with the 50 with the Indicator and tries to go ahead and get it further down the field, but will be unable to do so as now Cyber Sausage brings it off the ceiling as we see Swim Team really start to try to adapt here. They're bringing out whatever they can to find something as now this one back off the wall and Mura gets in the way of the clear and will pass it down to Antics. Off the Cyber Sausage and will be cleared again. Now Lumi down the field.
A physical play coming out. It's Annex, though. Getting up in time for that save. Indicator, though, putting it center for Lumi. Amura, they're going to win the ball first. It goes center. Raymond's going to miss. Indicator's going to miss. Everyone's going to miss, but Amura not going to miss on that clear to the sidewall and off the sidewall. This hand's looking for the redirect, and it goes in. It's Annex, this perfect sniper for this Virtual Esports team as he secures goal number 4 for them coming up, and that's another redirect that Swim Team was not expecting.
Yeah, what beautiful positioning by Antics, and what a beautiful pass by Amora to just go ahead and throw that one perfectly to Antics, who was there ready and waiting for the passing play. And Swim Team just left a little bit baffled. I mean, it just seems like they haven't been able to respond at all since the beginning of the game. They got that little bit of offense here and there, and they had the really strong attack at the beginning, but they really have not been able to mount much of an effort here as this game has progressed. It has been Virtual Esports all the way since basically that 4-minute mark. As now Amura looking to possibly further the lead here with only 30 seconds remaining on the clock, so it's just going to be a regain situation for Swim Team here, as that it will be the 5th goal, Raymond being the one to tack it in.
Virtual Esports are winning these 50s, winning these challenges, and it's giving them these positions for all these goals. 5-0, such a strong start to this series. And Swim Team are going to have to pull it together soon in this game too, because if Virtual Esports keep this momentum going, they could cleanly sweep this series. I believe the showing they have right here is a strong showing for possibly a clean sweep. Granted, they do have the the match for Swim Team coming out of the top half, but I'm not sure if they can bring it back. Swim Team are going to have to fight real hard in this game too.
Oh, for sure. They're going to have to really choke up on whatever's going on here. I mean, they had the shot totals. They had a total of 9 shots on net, so it's not like they weren't finding offense, but it was sustaining the offense that became the issue as the game prolonged. I mean, Virtual Esports were just finding really good passes. They were getting in the way of the midfield. And I don't think this is what Swim Team really expected coming into this, especially with Virtual Esports coming from that losers bracket. Now, they're definitely watching because Braywood, their sub, is in here, so they know what's going on. They have watched Virtual Esports, so it's not like they didn't have time to prepare for this. But, I mean, this was not what I expected at all out of this first matchup. I definitely thought that Swim Team would be a little bit closer here, especially in the first match. Maybe not as close as like a 1-1 series, but definitely not a 5-0. They got blown out of the water here, and this is a good sign for Virtual Esports.
Virtual Esports with this strong lead, this momentum, is going to make it, again, hard for Swim Team to figure out this rhythm and try to take back this series. Again, I think they did, yes, underestimate Virtual Esports coming out of the lower bracket. Swim Team, a strong run through the top winners bracket. But now here in the grand finals, are getting tossed around. And they're going to have to really bring it together and maybe get some more of these bumps and demos and that, breaking up the play. But it's Annex putting home the first goal. And Virtual, they're feeling it. They're here to play and they're here to win.
Without a doubt, they have been an absolute vibe check to this Swim Team offense and defense. I mean, they have just come in full force, no holds barred, as Swim Team looking to get something started here. As this one's a wide open net. Cyber Sausage, unfortunately, clearing that out to the corner instead, not putting that one towards the center, as I'm sure he's kicking himself for that one. But regardless, definitely a good sign, as it seems like Virtual may have some tendencies that maybe Swim Team can go ahead and take advantage of here. As again, looking at a pretty open backfield as Lumi puts this one close to the net, but not able to find it quite yet, as this one gets back into the corner.
That's a breakaway that Swim Team needs to find, but also it's the net they need to find. Is last game, they had all the shots on net, they just didn't have the goals. But now it goes center, busts off the post, it goes center again, but that shot not on net, and it's gonna roll into the far backfield indicator. You have to rebuild this attack with his team. But Amura ready to bring it. It's Annex, a little fake play there. Cyber touches off to the side. Everyone's in that corner. Amura trying to put it center for a teammate. And now, Virtual Esports on the offensive again.
And that was definitely a dangerous situation to watch and see for the Swim Team, because you really don't want to see all three of your players committing into the same area of the field, especially not the corner, because one wrong bounce and that's out mid, but Lumi will tack it in, and there's the first bit of offense that converts for Swim Team here in this matchup against Virtual Esports. So could this be the beginning of the comeback for Swim Team? I mean, they definitely need to return to form here if they want to pose a threat to Virtual Esports, because you don't want to see more of what happened in that first matchup. You do not want to give them that much momentum. You don't want to give them that much space on the field, because they're going to take it and they're going to work with it and they're going to make you pay for it.
They need to bring it together. Yeah, they're going to have to put in that effort. But they are now finding that spot on the goal. That shot was a perfect shot in that top right corner. The pass is beautiful. And now, though, they're going to have to bring this defense together. That's an excellent shot, but Imura able to clear it out. It goes center to Raymond, down the center. Indicator, going to have to get it past. But Virtual Esports are winning these 50s and these challenges again. And it's something that Swim Team needs to pick up as it goes center. It's a bump. It's floating, and Muratho gets back on his wheels and gets in front of that ball. Indicator trying to keep it on the side of Swim Team, but Swim Team are going to regain control and go back on the offensive.
And that didn't last long as Antics goes ahead and gets right back to his antics, as this one in again. The high scoring Antics, who I believe he had three of the goals of the last series. So he has both of them in this series, and he has just been an absolute key component for this offense.
It's Annex. Again, yes, putting out so much shots on net, but a lot of those coming off of excellent passes from his teammates, setting up Raymond and Imura know where he is. They have those eyes on him, and they have the excellent passing plays to make him, to put him in that position to have those shots. So this team working together, finding those plays. Now Imura getting it off the backboard. It's Annex going to try to slot it underneath. It goes high. And now Cyberslash trying to get it out of his own half. But Raymond going to keep that ball on the side of Swim Team, as it's Annex going to beat that player in the 50s again, coming out just Swim Team cannot win a challenge to save their lives right now.
It's really a bad thing for them because if you're giving up so many 50s, those plays are just going to go ahead and bite you time and time again as Antics pops it just a little bit too high. Raymond with a beautiful pass, but that goal is almost open as Amora unable to go ahead and get to that in time. Offense piling up as they're being forced back on defense. A Swim Team starts their own offensive push, but it only lasts for a few seconds. Again, that sustained offense not being able to be found really as Virtual Esports just time and time again able to get the ball out. A shot on net now. That's an awkward save, but again, it's dug out by Raymond. And this one cleared down the field, Indicator chasing.
Swim Team not quite able to find the right positioning here. They might have one or two players getting it down by the net, but the next player to follow up just isn't there to make the shot happen, allowing Virtual Esports to get the clears out. That's a shot on net though, but it's Anix able to clear it out. And again, they need to put it on net. Swim Team not able to find these shots, this accuracy that they need. They keep bringing it downfield, but they can't sustain the pressure. They can't put the shots on net. And now with 0 seconds left on the clock, Virtual Esports are going to secure Game 2, going up in the series 2-1.
That was definitely a better matchup than the first series. I mean, anything is better than being blown out of the water 5-0 in the first series. Now, obviously, as Braywood said in the chat, they were sitting for almost 30 minutes or more, so you got to factor into that time that they became cold again. They weren't necessarily running as much as they possibly could in the fear that they're going to miss a match. So you got to be ready for that coming back. It's your warm-up match. You get that game one advantage to really fall back on. But Virtual Esports doing a fantastic job of holding strong here as Antics putting on 4 shots. Raymond and Nomura, like you said, doing a great job of finding him on the field and feeding him those beautiful passing plays as, 2 goals, all that it took. And as I said, these games are really going to come down to 1 goal.
Yeah, as we see here, a 1-goal game. Virtual Esports only putting 2 in compared to the 5 I believe they had last game. And now Swim Team, they're bringing it in. They've gotten warm. They've gotten some momentum. They just need to maintain that offensive pressure, maintain that possession, and keep those rotations going as they need a man following up those passing plays off the sidewall, off the backboard, and then the accuracy to finish it off, put it home, and then they can take back this series.
Speaking of this series, Virtual Esports needs to win 1 more in order to put themselves on match point, and with some good saves here from Indicator, that may be a difficult order here as this one cleared out to the midfield for the time being. Antics following up off the wall, drops it down, but won't be able to get to it. The more there, cleared back. Indicator going back to defense, and finally, Swim Team gets off their own half of the field.
Helping to connect some of these passes. Indicator going to try to drop it down, but Raymond just gets there in time. But that's the shots we want to see out of Swim Team, making those passing plays, making those unique shots, trying to find that hole in the defense. As now, though, they must go on defense. Trying to stop this ball. Lumi, though, putting it on net, and Raymond, again, just making it in time to get in front of that ball. Virtual Esports now having to play a lot on the defense to stop these shots, and I don't think they've gotten a shot yet on the Swim Team net. Swim Team keeping up an excellent control of the midfield here, and they are bringing it back.
Yeah, they are doing a good job of going ahead and getting as much offensive pressure as they have been. I mean, you see Cyber Sausage really going ahead and trying to push this 50 here, and that is what really the entire team of Swim Team has been doing fairly successfully in this match, I will add, as this one almost again being read by Indicator and more getting in the way. I mean, Virtual just been really solid with getting these rotations down. They have been getting there just in time, and any later, any earlier, then they may have spread out a little bit different, but right now it just seems like Virtual holding on strong still, but they are starting to find a little bit of errors in their play. They are starting to find those holes, like you said, in the defense.
It's more even matchup now, but Virtual Esports finding some shots on net, but 2 players in the net are going to keep them from finding any goals, and we keep it a 0-0 scoreline almost halfway through this game. That ball gets dropped down, Cybersoft is going to put it in, and they're going to take the lead in this game 3.
That's a good sign for things to come here, as Cybersoft just made the correct decision here. Now Antics almost reading that, so there is where the errors are going to start coming in. This is really coming down to which one of these teams is going to make the most amount of errors. Who's going to find the better options? That one's pinched out, almost finds the net. Gamora and Antics on top of it, but unfortunately unable to get it into the net, as now it's falling to Indicator to go ahead and push this one down the field. Gets a good pass, but Raymond is there in order to get this one at least out from in front of the net, as Imora brings this run around. Raymond there pushes it out. Antics following. Indicator jumping for it, but it is just out of his reach, so a little bit awkward for him in order to read that. So now this one's for the net. Raymond unable to secure the shot.
It goes center. Lumi now open net to shoot on, and he's gonna secure goal number 2. That was an excellent passing play. It's Annex putting up the sidewall, but Cybersoft is taking it away. All 3 players of Virtual Esports stuck on the side, and Lumi takes the open net and takes goal 2, putting them up 2-0. With less than 2 minutes left in this game, it looks like Swim Team have brought the fire.
Yeah, they have definitely ignited their offense and brought themselves to a different level here than we've seen them in the first 2 games. And this is where they need to start swinging things. If they can go ahead and make it as difficult as possible for Virtual running forward into this series, I think they're going to really stand a chance here. Get this ball as many times in the 50s. Really start hammering home those big clears and catching them out in difficult situations like Cybersausage just did. And that is a beautiful thing for this Swim Team offense, because you just caught their entire defense unawares. I mean, they have been so aggressive, so seeing them really punish that aggressiveness is just one more thing that will be a key factor for a Swim Team going forward.
On Amura, we're going to show off some mechanics here. Looks for the flipper set and the wave dash, but isn't quite able to use it. And Swim Team are going to hold on to this 3-goal lead, but they are on the defensive. Virtual Esports looking to find something in this last minute of the game. They need to find these things. These shots like that one, and it's Annex going to reclaim a goal with 58 seconds left in this game. Excellent pass off the side, and Mura beating the man, leaving it open for his Annex to slot it in that close side. An Indicator couldn't get back in time. And it's only a 2-goal game now.
Yeah, that was a good play, but it may be a little bit too little too late in this third match, and it is probably going to bring this one back to even 2-2 in the series. But you still have 50 seconds left. Plenty of time to work with if you can go ahead and find the offense opportunities, as this one down around the wall into the corner. Fielded back down. Raymond there, though, to go ahead and get this one at least cleared away into Indicator. Tapped back, a little bit of an awkward touch, and that is an open net, and Indicator will punish, as now 29 seconds remain on the clock, and they find themselves right back in a similar situation, down 3 goals.
And an awkward touch coming out from Virtual Esports. They give them the opportunity. And Virtual Esports looking shaky now. They came out strong, but now that Swim Team is starting to feel themselves, they're getting worried, it seems. Making some mistakes here, making some plays, but Raymond coming back, slotting that. It's a 2-goal game again. And an excellent win there. He goes up and he beats both defenders and just slots it where he wasn't ready for it. That bottom left corner. Excellent placement.
And you saw Indicator, he was ready for it. He definitely was ready for it. He was coming across that net, fully knew where it was going. He just unfortunately unable to fully reach it in time, as it was a fairly awkward save, as now 10 seconds remain on the clock. Cybersausage good push through the defense, but unable to go ahead and capitalize as now 5 seconds remain. And this may be the last drive opportunity that Virtual Esports is going to get, but it is quite a futile one regardless, as Swim Team will bring this one back to 2-2 in the series. So game 4 looming on the horizon. And I think our predictions are definitely looking correct thus far, and that this is definitely one that has the opportunity to go into a game number 7.
Yeah, coming out of that game 1, it almost seemed like Virtual Esports were ready to bring a blowout here, possibly a sweep. But now we see Swim Team heating up. They got some fire under their butts. And they're putting these shots in the net. They're connecting these passes. They're getting some good demo plays. And now, evening the scoreline, it looks like we are going to see at least possibly game 5 and maybe even game 7. Who knows? This is going to be an excellent series, and I'm super excited to see how now Virtual Esports responds to the Swim Team, who has brought now some fire back and some power back into the gameplay.
Yeah, no, they have definitely revitalized what was missing in those first 2 matches. Now, it definitely was a little bit more prevalent in the second match than the first match, but in no way is Virtual Esports out of this yet. Now, the momentum definitely rests heavily on Swim Team's shoulders, but Virtual Esports still has the opportunity and the skill set in order to bring things back here, as it wasn't a complete blowout in that last match here, as Raymond gets a good bump here. Indicator driving it through the entire defense. Raymond there to clean that up and pushing into the corner away from danger for the time being. A good read, controls the ball long enough to get it down the field, but 50s like that, you really can't see that ball getting too close to the net anytime soon.
Here we have the first 30 seconds of the game gone by, 0-0, and the 50s are looking pretty even. It looks like both teams have kind of figured out how these 50s go, how these other their opponents approach the ball. Now it looks like it's going to come down to either figure out a new creative way to get around the ball, around these opponents. Hey, these passing plays. That was an excellent infield pass from Swim Team. And Cybersausage is going to take it off the sidewall, but gets stopped by Xanax. And Lumi going to try to take it down. Second touch off the ceiling, following it up, and Lumi is just pressuring that ball, looking to try to shove some in, make that happen. But now a counterattack opportunity coming for Virtual Esports as Moore is going to put it center, but Indicator a good stop in front of the net.
We see Antics going ahead and following that one up. Mora making a dangerous decision to challenge as that third man. Now all 3 of Virtual Esports really bunched up there on offense. That is a dangerous thing to do, as that one nearly bites them for it, as Antics barely getting back on defense in time. Raymond following this one up, Indicator towards the net, and it just crossbars, and that is quite heartbreaking to watch as 3 minutes remain on the clock, and both of these teams have had pretty decent looks at the net, as a good demo from Imora will enable that ball to be scored, as the defense got a little caught off guard as they thought Indicator was going to go ahead and possibly get that one cleared further down the field.
Not sure what Cybersausage was thinking there, coming out of net, seeing that the ball went forward, but no player there to receive it in the midfield. Just didn't expect that shot to come straight down the middle, and just had to try to back up, but couldn't recover in time. And now 3 minutes left. Swim Team have to get another shot back, because this game will determine who goes to match point.
Well, if you're gonna allow opportunities like that to just go in, and Moore is gonna go ahead and just run those in all day, as Indicator gets bumped on the back line, unable to really go ahead and react quick enough in order to bring himself back into a feasible position in order to field that. So just a little bit over halfway left in this match, and I mean, Swim Team looks like they're getting the best of their opportunities taken away fairly early, as Virtual Esports really choking up again on this one and not allowing them a lot here, as Antics going to bring this into the corner. 50s with Indicator and 50s with Cyber. He's going to have 50 at pretty much the entire team here, as this one cleared back into the midfield for the time being.
And that physical play, I'm talking about it all series, and it seems like Virtual Esports has figured it out. They used that bump to get that second goal. They're bumping around these players, and they're staying in front of that ball, making sure that they don't get any free dribbles, free passing plays, and they're making sure that, if they can't get the ball, they just get a little something on the other team. And Virtual Esports now looking to swat another shot, and it's Annex gonna put it past Cyber Sausage, who couldn't quite reach it. Raymond, excellent pressure indicator, awkward off the backboard, trying to avoid that bump, and Cyber Sausage couldn't get back in time for it. And that's a 3-goal lead with 1:53 left on the clock.
One of the things that Virtual Esports has been doing so well in this one that I've noted is that they are controlling the boost in this game. They are absolutely starving a swim team, and they are hungry. I mean, they need boosts. Time and time again, we're switching in between cameras and seeing these players of swim team at 0 boost or at low boost, and this is quite frequent across the match where they just don't have the boost to get things done, but they have enough to almost get that one done. And Mora with a beautiful dig on the back line, barely getting in the way of that one, as that one almost being a momentum changer for swim team. Is now a minute 15 seconds remains on the clock, and Virtual Esports still holding strong.
And Cybersaus actually putting out some chain dashers on the wall, using whatever he can, low on 0 boost to get some speed and try to get some control back from Virtual Esports. But with the minute left, Virtual Esports, an open net, are going to reclaim another goal and are up 4-0 now with 56 seconds left in this game. And yeah, it's that boost starving, that physical play, and that control of the midfield that Virtual has just locked down and taken control of this game away from Swim Team.
Yeah, and really Swim Team, not much can really be done in that aspect. I mean, you can't demo if you don't have boost, and really you can't do much if you don't have boost realistically, but these players are just coming out one after another, offensive pressure, bumps, boost starving, and consistent rotations. Now, they have had a few scary moments here for Virtual Esports where they kind of got caught out in a very dangerous situation, but things have worked out in their favor, so Lady Luck is definitely holding their hands a little bit in this one, but not too much, as really a lot of this can be attested to just good teamwork, good skill, good call-outs, as Imora and Antics both looking to try to get this one cleared out, and will do so with 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
As the remaining 4 goals seeming impossible, as this ball's going to drop to 0 seconds, Virtual Esports will secure Game 4. Now on match point. They have the lead here. But Swim Team, they're going to have to do everything they can to reclaim this. And this looks almost like a replay of Game 1. A 4-goal lead coming out for Virtual Esports, and Swim Team not able to find anything on net.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had some opportunities here and there, but that defense from Virtual Esports was just indomitable. I mean, you have 3 saves from Antics alone, and even the unmarked saves that you're not going to get because of that ball distance from the net at times. And, I mean, Swim Team just kind of got it pressed to them on defense, and there's not a lot you can do there. I mean, low boost bumps, like I said, that disruption play is a huge factor for Virtual Esports here in controlling the pace of this game, and unfortunately Swim Team just wasn't able to go ahead and keep up with it in this round. But that being said, I fully expect Swim Team to go ahead and bring it back in this next one, because they do not strike me as the type of team that's just gonna say, oh well, we're down, this is game point, I don't know if we can do this, guys, because I definitely feel like they have that don't say die kind of attitude.
Swim Team definitely seem to have that fire in their hearts to keep fighting, to return in Game 5 here. Virtual Esports on match point in this best of 7 grand finals. Virtual Esports can lock it down here. They take home the prize. But if Swim Team takes this game, we will head to Champions Field.
Is a beautiful field to see, as we don't get to see it too often, but it is a great event when we do get to see it, as It looks like Switch is trying to go ahead and get this one away from the net, as that is a beautiful clear by Virtual Esports. And Aurora chasing this one down the field. We'll go ahead and rotate in behind Antics, who pinches it across the field. Lumi there. Shot from Cyber Sausage, but that one is just a tad too high. And this one will go ahead and be forced back around down the wall. Cyber Sausage is following into the corner, and it's cleared away by Antics.
Swim team bringing some speed and heat this game, catching these passes, and that first shot so powerful, just a little high. And this swim team just seems to have all the boost now and the speed. They're winning these challenges, and they're keeping it on Virtual Esports half of the field. They're up for these balls at all times. They're winning these 50s now. And again, this speed allowing them to be in places in front of the Virtual Esports players almost all times. That's a good stop there. It goes towards net, but it's just off to the side, and Cyber Sausage able to scoop it out and get a good clear down to Indicator. He's going to follow this up. Going to try to find someone center. Raymond's going to make a big clear downfield. Lumi, also a big clear. And we get a little bit of boom ball happening here.
Yeah, nothing like a little bit of boomer mode in the middle of matches. That one again going high. Too much power in order for that one to go ahead and go in, as this one coming off the ceiling. Imura with the touchdown. I mean, a very awkward, and Cyber Sausage punishes as Halloumi doing all the work here on the setup. And a beautiful ceiling shot to go ahead and get that one started for Swim Team. Now, we're approaching halfway through Game 6. And, I mean, this is a testament to these teams. I mean, they're going right there, back and forth, time and time again. And you don't want to see them go ahead and fall so easily. And that's another one that sneaks in. Indicator now putting one in, catching them off guard on the rotations.
Imura gets read by Indicator like an open book as he dunks him straight into his net, and Swim Team taking a 2-goal lead. Almost half this game gone now. And it looks like Swim Team, they are ready to fight for it. They are here to bring it to Game 7. They are not going to lay down and let Virtual Esports take this match point so easily. I said, you brought it 4-0? All right, cool. We can try to do the same. We're already at 2-0. Half this game left. 4-0 does not seem far away.
No, it doesn't, but Antics jukes the whole team. Look at him go as he gets it by 1, gets it by 2, and takes it all the way home. So it won't be a sweep, but it is still a lead for Swim Team. They need to go ahead and hold it. They still have 2 minutes and 20 seconds in order to keep this Virtual Esports team at bay. That is a lot of time for Virtual to work with, and you do not want to go ahead and give them any opportunities. Antics again pressuring on offense as one finally cleared away off of their half, and I'm sure they're all breathing a sigh of relief.
And a big dunk from Indicator. They've been getting some excellent reads this game, making sure that Virtual Esports not able to go far with that ball. Or maintain a lot of dribble pressure and control. A demo coming out now. That's going to alleviate some of that pressure. But if it slips under like that, it won't matter. Raymond getting the ball, finding and receiving that clear. It's Antics. Oh, that dunk out to center. Indicator not close enough. That's going to slip under. And it's an even scoreline with only 1:40 left in this game.
This is not where you want to find yourself as Swim Team. I mean, they held the lead for a little bit there. I mean, 2-goal leads seemed like they were in a very good situation, but all of a sudden Virtual Esports just started finding opportunities all over the place. They get a demo here. Raymond's going to open up a lot of space on the field for Imura, who's going to bring it down under one. What a mind game by Imura. And you don't see better plays than that. The slow play, the change of pace absolutely threw them for a loop, and you'll love to see plays like that.
A beautiful job to slow it down, juke the guy on the ground, think maybe, oh, the backboard guy's gonna get it. But then at the backboard, he's just waiting for him to maybe take that shot, and it never quite comes. It just drops down to the bottom where he can't reach it. And that's going to be a lead for Virtual Esports. And now Swim Team, though, looking to put on some pressure. Lumi, though, left in the backfield by himself. Gonna try to clear this out. That's a misplay. And Amura gonna slot it. A 2-goal lead now for Virtual Esports as they return the favor of the first half of the game.
They have a minute and 4 to work with here, so Swim Team definitely has an opportunity here to bring it back and still take it to Game 7, but they need to clean up some of these opportunities that they're allowing Virtual Esports to have. I mean, they're getting caught on some bad rotations here, and sometimes it's not really even the rotations, it's just better plays. They're getting outplayed here on offense a little bit, as Amura's gonna bring this up, drop it down, and Amura is absolutely on fire in this Game 6. Not allowing them to have anything here.
On its annex, a beautiful pass over, and Amura, the monstrous double tap, going up, slots underneath the defender, and that's going to be a beautiful angle, just dropping it in. A 3-goal lead now, and Swim Team gonna need a miracle here in the last 45 seconds of the game in order to take it back.
Here is where you start bringing out the Hail Mary plays. I mean, if you're gonna lose, you might as well pull everything you have out of the book in 30 seconds. You got 3 goals to go, and Mora going ahead and trying to push this one away. Doesn't do so, as now Antics will push it to Mora. Down the field, no, my bad, push it to Raymond. Raymond down the field, off to the sidewall. Mora chasing, but Raymond will go ahead and follow up his own touch. Lumi bringing it down, pops it in. Now that's a 2-goal lead, but there's only 11 seconds remaining, and there is an opportunity, certainly, but it is such a slim opportunity. It's going to take an absolute miracle, like you said, in order for this to happen.
That was an excellent play. Cyber Sausage saw the defenders on the back wall, did a little run through, making him have to jump. And then that slow play from Lumi. Nice job to throw him off. But as this ball drops at 0 seconds, this Grand Finals is going to go to Virtual Esports, who win the V6 3v3 $30 tournament. And an excellent job here against Swim Team. A 4-2 overall score in this best of 7.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew it was going to be a tough series for both these squads. I mean, they both got some really, really good looks in. But at the end of the day, only one victor can be crowned. And I mean, Virtual Esports definitely deserves it. They played so hard in this series. They did everything that they could. And Mora in that last series was, oh my lord, was he ever just playing out of his mind? He peaked to new heights in that one.
That was an amazing job by Virtual Esports. And its annex, a striker, and the main score of previous series, making it happen here. Those jukes, beautiful, but also the passing plays to set up his teammates. That beautiful double tap, sliding it under. Virtual Esports pulled out all the stops, all the mechanics, and they made it happen. And it was a beautiful sight to see. Now they dropped down early to the lower half, but they fought their way through the lower loser semifinals, losers finals, to the grand finals, and they brought it back all the way to win it all in the grand finals here against Swim Team. And this has been a fantastic tournament. I have had so much fun.
I have as well, and it has just been a great tournament. It's been a great night, and if I do say so myself, I actually think it's a little bit more impressive to go ahead and run all the way through that losers bracket, because those matches in losers bracket, I do believe they're only best of 1 series down there up until this the semifinal, where it finally turns into best of 3s. And yes, that is actually correct. It is all best of 1. So that is even more impressive, because you only have 1 game to figure out your opponent, which can really throw some screwballs at you in the long run. But I couldn't be happier with the way things have played out tonight, as Virtual Esports takes home the prize. But, you know, unfortunately, all things must come to an end eventually, Zek Tech. And as fun as it has been, and as an honor as that it has, I do think that we shall be ending it here. But If you do wish to find us on our socials, you can go ahead and at me at Lightning Casts on Twitter. I'll always be posting my schedules there. Now, I didn't get this one out because, truthfully, I kind of forgot that it was happening until a little bit, like 3 hours prior when Brozy went ahead and reached out to me. But it is what it is. Mr. Zektek, where can these fine people find you?
You can find me on Twitter or Twitch at ZekTechno. Just add an N-O to the end of my name. And those are probably the best places you can find all my things that are happening, whether I'm streaming or casting a game or series. You can catch me here on V6, sometimes on Distinct Esports. But if you really want to catch most of the games that I'm on, Oregon State Esports or Oregon State Esports on Twitch or OSU Esports on Twitter. I am on there all the times casting the college games for the varsity team for Oregon State Rocket League. You can catch me on there, and it'd be great to have you.
Well, for all of us here at V6, we wish you such a fantastic evening, and we thank you all so much for tuning in. And we'll definitely catch you in the next one, which will be V6 Esports Triple Threat number 24. So you tune in for that one, and you all have a fantastic night.
So long.